Okay, still Friday the 25th. Just an update on the small hive. I've marked the top of the feeder, don't now feed. There's sufficient strength in there now that they don't need feed. So the feed that's left in there will help them start draw out the wax required in this box here so that they can start storing honey. Just because that decision has been made today doesn't mean to say it won't be changed next week. But as it stands at the moment, it's a perfectly good decision. On to the big hive. So let's just explain what's happening here. 2 boxes on the bottom or below the green line, they are full of brood. Not totally full of brood, but full of brood. The 2 boxes above. This box here has quite a lot of honey in it and had actually got some brood in it. This box here had bees in it but no real activity in terms of drawing wax out. So we've had a reshuffle of frames. So in these 2 boxes here I have taken any frames out of there which are capped honey, and they've been put up in these boxes here. This is a brood box. It's not for storing honey, although it needs to have some honey in. I would say this is a bar. It's not Tesco's. In here I have also put drawn wax, which is not currently being used for brood because they need space. If they don't have space, they'll go into swarm mode, and I'm happy to say I did see the queen. I've seen loads of eggs everywhere and I have seen no swarm cells at all. That's a good sign. It means that we've kept these boxes with space, and it is a lack of space which causes bees to want to swarm. So in this box here there's no brood. There remains probably 50% of drawn wax frames which have got honey in. Lots of that honey is already capped, but I want them to still come up in here and to draw the remaining frames, because the drawing of those remaining frames is going to be required shortly because we want to get honey up here. In this box up here I've actually put 2 frames of brood and I've also taken and put some frames of capped honey in this top box as well, but it's still sort of 4 frames of drawn comb being used for brood or stores, and the remainder is undrawn. What's in here will attract the bees upwards. They will not abandon the brood that's in here. Now, you might think this is an outlying station. You might think that putting frames of brood in here because it's cold at night. This morning was 3 degrees. And that was 8 o'clock. I know by 11 o'clock it was 12, 13 degrees. But overnight it's cold. It doesn't matter. This box is at the top of a colossal colony. The power and the heat coming off these 2 will work its way up. There are a lot of bees in here. At night time, a different kind of activity takes place in this colony. So in the day, these bees which are returning with feed hand that feed over to some intermediaries. Those intermediaries are only interested in one thing, and that's getting rid of that food as fast as they possibly can. And so they will put it in here or in here, which is not the place for it to be. and they then go back to the entrance. And believe it or not, it's not anecdotal, there's science on it. When the foragers return and they find there's no one there to receive them, they get a bit in a hissy fit. That means they'll do a dance, but not the typical honeybee dance. At night time, when the foragers are not working, when it's raining so they can't fly, when it's cold so they won't fly, what's going to happen is that the bees will move honey from these parts up into these parts. Now we can put a mid-entrance in here, and I don't think we need to do that at the moment, but we may well do that, because what will happen is the foragers will then enter here and haven't got to go on a circuitous route all the way up. They'll enter here, their honey will be dumped here, and it's just a short circuit trick. Lots of beekeepers do it. We're not yet doing it at the moment. There are a number of ways of doing it. One of them is to just simply drill a small hole here, which is then plugged using a wooden brewer's barrel plug, of which I have many. So in summary, a great hive. There's probably a box of capped and uncapped honey there already. We haven't fed this hive for quite some weeks, and so therefore none of the stores in here are going to be adulterated sugar syrup. They will have consumed that by now, and we were feeding them sugar syrup at a rate which they were unlikely to convert to stores. On this box here, at the beginning of this second video I said no, don't feed anymore. Well, this box here is full here, more or less, of undrawn frames. So they will use the sugar syrup in here to draw out those frames, which is what we want. That's it. 2 good colonies, and I hope that we will shortly start getting honey. Now, in the past we have juggled frames between these 2 hives, and we may still do that. So if this hive starts filling at a faster rate than this hive, then I'll be taking undrawn frames out of here and giving them to here. An undrawn frame is an absolutely useless piece of equipment. It's like having a car with no wheels on it. So very happy. All the best for now.